Hello everybody, it's me, Nikki. Today we're going to talk about my TBR for January. First, the book club book is Nemesis Games. So this is sci-fi space opera. So you can read this one, the first one in the series, any of them in the series if you have them, or another big chunky sci-fi space opera. So yes, I'm excited. This is number 5 in the series, and I believe there are 9 books total. And they're all just as chunky as this one. Next, I'll be reading Grimspace by Mcguire. This is another sci-fi book. I'd never heard of it before. I just saw it and I was like, that looks interesting. So this is about Samantha Jax, who has a rare gene, which is the ability to jump ships through Grimspace, whatever that is. It cuts into her life expectancy, which is why it says her next jump may be her last, but it makes her a highly prized navigator. Except one time a ship she's navigating crash lands and she's accused of killing everyone, but she has no memory of what happened. So, she is under ruthless interrogation, and a mysterious man breaks into her cell, offering her freedom for a price, because isn't there always? They want to break the corporation, the monopoly on interstellar travel. And Jax is only good at one thing, Grimspace, and it will eventually kill her, so she may as well have some fun in the meantime. I don't know if this is a series, but I've sort of been getting into sci-fi again, and this, like, compared to this, this is your chunky epic sci-fi, and this seems like a bit more fun. Not that that isn't fun, but you know what I mean? So, excited. Next I have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And I forgot to say, Nemesis Games is by James S.A. Corey, which is 2 authors, actually. I've seen other people's, I think I've said this before, I've seen other people's copies of The Poppy War, and I thought it was chunkier, but, maybe those were just different editions. And this is set during a particular time in Chinese history that I think it was literally the Poppy War, opium. But maybe later, because they've got earlier, because there's a bow and arrow. This is about Ren, who was a war orphan, and she aced an Empire-wide test to find the most talented youth, and she surprised everyone. And she's a dark-skinned peasant girl. And she has shamanic powers, and there's a god has chosen her. So I think it's supposed to be based on, it's obviously fantasy, but it's like a Chinese Chinese history stuff, but mixed with fantasy. And I know that, what is it, chapter 13 or 21? I can't remember the number. It's where, like, everything gets real quick. So, and it's based on some historical events. I think it's been a long time since I read about it. Because there was, the Opium Wars in real life. Yeah, grounded in real-world history of Chinese wars and adding fantasy drug elements by Poppy Wars. Opium Wars. And Ren's life is meant to parallel the trajectory of Mao Zedong. And we all know what happened with him. So, this is an adult. It's grimdark. Oh, it's grimdark. Oh, I'm gonna try it. And it also draws its plot points and politics from mid-20s China. Conflict in the novel based on the Second Sino-Japanese War, inspired by the Song Dynasty and atmosphere. So, yeah. I was right. I was worried that I wasn't, and I was making stuff up. But yeah, it's, and I do know, maybe it's chapter 21, where they basically, like, all the shit happens, so, but that really happened. So, yeah. Not excited, because you never want to be excited to read about shitty stuff, but I'm interested. Let's say that. Next, I'll be reading Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I've heard some stuff about characters in this book being anti-Semitic, I believe. So we'll see. And I'm sure I can never tell if something, unless it's like super obvious, but the subtleties of racism tend to pass me by. So, and lastly, this next chunky one, no cover, is the Crimson Campaign, the second in the Powder Mage trilogy, which I did finish the first book. So I'm very proud of myself. It's got lovely maps. I mean, yeah. Since I just read the first one, I'm like, oh, I gotta read this. I gotta know what happens. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be a good one. And all of these books are also for the /R Fantasy Bingo. And I'm trying to read 5 books a month. So I thought I could just read 5. Oh gosh. That are on the bingo. So I don't know where I'll put them since I have a ton of books everywhere. But we'll find out. So those are the books I plan on reading in January. Let me know what you're reading and if you have any good, I guess, sci-fi recommendations, since I'm sort of on that kick. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a lovely holiday. I hope you have a happy new year. I hope you're staying safe and warm and cozy, because it has been cold as fuck here, so it's probably colder elsewhere. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.